Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Ribeiro-Wolfson. I am also an intuitive coach and an energy healer, a wife and a mom to 3 boys, and it is my mission to help you, number 1, calibrate your energy, number 2, integrate self-care into easy, doable steps, and number 3, to help you shine your light in the world in your own unique way, because that is, after all, your mission and purpose on this planet is to shine your light. Woo! All right. Don't mind me, I'm a little stuffy today. It has been a week here in my house, and I got hit. All right, not COVID, thankfully. Not the C word, the COVID word. I can't say the C word, right? That's like got another whole other thing. So not COVID. Thank you very much. Okay. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I love Fridays. I love fun Fridays. And if you are watching, please say hi. Drop a little comment if you would like me to pull a card for you today on this beautiful fun Friday where I do oracle cards. Then please drop an emoji or say please, please pull me a card, not drop me a card. Okay, the cold is clearly messing with my brain. All right, so let's get right to our warm up, our ritual that we do every morning together, our little Me First ritual, so that we can get right started with the cards, because I'm feeling that it'll be fun to pull some cards today. In the meantime, let us take care of some business. Please go right now to YouTube, look for Jumpstart for Change, and subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, and ding that notification bell so that you know when I'm going to be going live. And you can find me here on Facebook and on YouTube on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. So if you like, what we're doing here or what I'm doing here, please feel free to join me and spread the word. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jumpstart for Change. All right, thank you very much. So let's get started. I'm gonna light the candle. Hold on, I'm gonna pull out this excessive wick first. There we go. Lovely candle. I have to take a sip of my coffee. You should take a sip too. Ooh, it is hot. Oh, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Sarah. Oh my God, yay, you're all here. So exciting. Okay, I know, drinking on my live, like terrible, but I need to lubricate my throat because I'm going to start coughing in a minute. All right. Whew, there we go. A little essential oils, my sacred frankincense that gets me grounded and centered and feeling ready. Now, the whole point of this is for us to calibrate our energy, really. And that's the point, is for us to take a moment, take some deep breaths, and just to calibrate to our center, right? Just find that place where we feel connected to spirit, where we feel connected to the earth. And that's really what we're doing here. When we take a deep, deep breath, we're allowing the liquid sunshine to pour in. We are connecting with the vibration of the sun. And as we have our feet planted on the ground, allowing that life force energy to come through the ground, we are also connecting with the frequency of the earth, the frequency of creation, the frequency of growth and love and light. That's what we want to bring in. We want to raise our vibration so that we are calibrated to that frequency of possibility, the frequency of miracles, the frequency of connection, and that oneness that we all feel. I know it's hard because we all got a low hum of like, I've had enough of this crap. But underneath that low hum of I've had enough, there is this thread that connects us all, and it's beautiful. And I encourage you to connect with that as much as possible, because we are connected and have much more in common and have, a much bigger mission altogether than our differences, than our conflicts. Okay. Those are just illusions that exist, distracting us from our true essence, which is divine. It really is. We all have that divine essence, that divine connection. And let's go and call in our spiritual support team, ask them to support us as we walk through the day with a beautiful intention for the day and for the weekend. Okay, so let's take a deep, deep breath. The first deep breath in, as I said, open up your crown chakra, or, just the top of your head. Imagine that it's opening up and just receiving all of that beautiful love and healing light and liquid sunshine that beautiful, big ball in the sky has to offer us. I need to find my words today. Just be patient with me. Okay. So let's do that now and take a deep breath. Maybe it'll be easier once I'm actually calibrated. All right, here we go. And hold. And release. And when you breathe out, release any and all things that no longer serve you, okay? Just like intend that it's all leaving your body and it will be transmuted by Mother Nature, by the earth, and it will be transmuted into the highest and greatest good of all. Just right. There you go. Oh my goodness, Karen Thompson. Hi, how are you? So nice to see you here. Okay, let's take another deep breath, and this time we're going to focus on our feet. We're going to imagine that our feet, well planted on the ground, are charging up with that life force energy that comes from the earth. And I want you to just imagine there's like roots coming from the earth up your foot, right through the foot, up your legs, up your knees, and just spreading through your whole body, just calibrating you to Earth's energy and connecting you to that life force energy, the same life force energy that brings creation, that allows the plants to burst through the soil in the spring. It is time. It is a new moon today. So this is a beautiful time for us to envision all new things growing and becoming our manifestation as we put it out there, okay? So deep breath in and hold and release. Beautiful. Let's take one last deep breath and make sure we are increasing our capacity to bring in all of the beauty, all of the goodness, all of the love, all of the light, all of the power that the earth has for us. We are going to just take a deep breath in, bring it all in, receive all of that, hold it for 5 seconds, and then release all the things that no longer serve us. And I want you to imagine that powerful light, that this energy that flows through you just breaks apart and dissipates any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy, anything that does not belong. Let's do that together now. And hold. And release. Beautiful. Oh, I forgot my crystal spheres today. All right. And I'm already shaking it out and I haven't even stretched yet. Okay, so let's do a little stretching. We want to make sure that we catch those parts in our body that feel tense or where you feel pain. If you feel discomfort, you want to breathe into that area. I have a lot of pain and discomfort in my neck. And as you breathe out, you want to sort of pull on those areas just lightly, just gently. You don't want to like crack anything. You just want to stretch so that you have a little bit more room to breathe, a little bit more spaciousness in your energetic field. That's what we want. We want to create space. We want to make sure that our vessel is clear, right? We want to clear our vessel. We want to connect with our spiritual support team, and we want to charge up for the day. That is the purpose of this ritual. All right. Whew, that feels good. I feel like I could do this for hours. Okay, but I won't. All right, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. You can continue for hours if it's something that serves you. It's me first mornings, and I do it my way, and I invite you to do it your way, whatever works for you. All right, so now it's time for us to set our intention. For those of you who do not know about the GPS, you can go ahead and download your free GPS workbook. In there, there's several questions that will take you through the process that will help you come up with your GPS word, which is just a word or a phrase that anchors the feeling that you want to embody in your life, right? So when you have all the things that you want, right, we all have this vision board, these ideas of what we want our life to look like. Well, the feeling that we have once we achieve that life, that's the word we want to bring into the present. That is our anchor. So if that feeling is abundance, you bring that to the now. If that feeling is connection, you bring that into the now. And so we set that intention with our Me First morning prayer today. So if you already have a word, awesome. If not, you can just set an intention. And then whenever you do come up with the word, whenever you do the GPS workbook, then you can add that word to your intentions when we do this together. All right, here we go. So here's my little prayer. Feel free to say your own prayer or just sit silently. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. You think the spirit guides, when I mess up my prayer, do you think they're giggling and they're just like, wow, she really needs her coffee this morning? Because that's what I think. I think I really need my coffee this morning. All right, here we go. We're going to start pulling some cards. So who wants a card pulled? Because we did our business. And I'm very happy that we did our business. And now it's time to pull a card. I'm going to pull from the Enchanted Map today. Sarah, would you like a card? And I'm joking with Sarah because I never pull from this deck for her. So I'm pulling from this deck for anybody who would like. I'm going to start to shuffle. Yes. Okay, the first one's for you because you're the first one who said you wanted a card. If anybody wants a card, you just let me know. Just drop an emoji. It's funny, I say like drop an emoji, but then should I be specific on the emoji? Is it like any emoji? Like my mom put emojis there, but I feel like that's a hello emoji for me, right? So is that a card pulling emoji? I don't know. I need a better system. I just talk too much. I love you guys. Thank you for your patience. All right, here we go. Sarah, so this one's for you. I'm going to pull this card for you first. I think you heard that, and I was trying to mute it. Anyway, it was my cough. So exciting. All right. You guys are just watching me shuffle. I'm kind of in my own world today. Right? It's like everybody, we all stopped wearing masks, at least here in New York. Well, I can say where we are specifically. There's no more masks at school. And so, of course, now that nobody's wearing masks, not just COVID, but all those viruses that have been lurking in the background going man, we got no one to go to. Everybody's all protected. Now they're like, yeah, free for all. And so everybody got a cold this week. And that was not fun. It's not been fun. And today's my turn. I started feeling blah yesterday. But that's okay. It's transformation. Colds, illnesses, anything that your body is managing or processing, it is all about transformation. It is about, where you are going next. And so this is important. I have to release all these things on this beautiful new moon, whatever my body needs to release, so that I can start fresh once this cold moves through me. All right, here we go. Sarah, boom. Interesting. Okay. So here we go. Number 45. And this was upside down. Okay. Sad embrace, right? So it feels to me that this feels like a weight, like a heaviness. It doesn't feel like something is coming. It feels like this weight that you're dealing with, this heaviness that exists right now in your life. And I think it's a part of the transformation that you're going through. And we're all going through transformation. So I say this for you, and I say it for anyone else who this resonates with, if anyone else resonates with this in particular. Okay, so the number 45, I feel like it's significant on some level. It may be significant for you. So if 45 means something to you, pay attention to that. I feel like it does, but I'm not quite sure what. And we have like a full moon here. Look at that. A little full moon on the card, and this beautiful fairy with the sad embrace. And sad embrace is often, it's a disconnect. It's like a disconnection. So there is this heaviness, right? This grief that I think we are all moving through, this grief collectively, but not just that. There is this, it's this feeling of doing it on your own. Now, regardless of, having friends or family or people who are there to support you, sometimes we could be going through really big transformational things in our life or really big changes in our life. And even though we have the support, like we have people calling us or checking in on us or whatever, we have friends that we connect to, that there is still this it's like a disconnection that feels like, people don't really understand, that they really don't get what you're going through. And with that experience comes this sort of loneliness, right? It's this sadness, this disconnection, right? And one of the things that I recommend when this card comes up, I can't say that I recommend because I don't always recommend it, but what's coming up for me for you right now is really taking some time to take care of your inner child. It feels like this is, it feels very like young. This disconnection, this loneliness feels like a little kid who feels like no one understands me. And I'm not saying that you feel like that all the time, but there may be something going on in your life where it sort of feels like you're on your own, that the weight of the world is on your shoulders with something in particular, and you're kind of on your own and nobody really gets it. And it can be really frustrating, and it can cause, some anger or resentment, because when we feel alone, we feel abandoned, we feel that, we have no connection. And when we feel no connection and disconnected from the outside world, it's important that we connect to the inside, and we really kind of reconnect with that inner guidance and with that inner child, and find out, okay, what is it that you need from me? Because very often, especially when an inner child message comes up, it's because you need to take some time to really, my whole therapy session on Wednesday was about the younger me and how is it? No way! Really? Oh my God. I mean, I don't know why we're still surprised that every time I pull a card for you, it's like it resonates, but it's true. Like the feeling that I get, and thank you for confirming that, because that definitely helps me. The feeling that I get is that you, and some of that inner child work that we do, and it's great that you have a therapist that you can work with, but a lot of it is us being able to comfort ourselves, and us being able to advocate for ourselves, and us being able to kind of embrace our younger selves, because when we're dealing with things in the now, challenges in the present, very often, depending on the type of challenge, it's going to connect with that frequency of things that have happened in the past, challenges that have happened in the past, traumas that have happened in the past, right? Because the things that we experience in our life, everything's connected on some level. So even the things that you think, oh, this is completely different because I'm a different person, there is still a thread, which is the frequency, where it's like it hits the same pain point, right? It hits the same note. Like if you go on a xylophone and you're like, bing, right? And it hits that note. Well, it can be years later, you grab the xylophone, you hit the same note, it still sounds the same, it still vibrates the same. And the same thing with some of those inner child experiences and those stories that we told ourselves in whatever we experienced. And I go to therapy too, because I always encourage people to have therapists and support in life, because life is tough. And one of my favorite things that the therapist told me was, he said that children sometimes, whether or not they go through traumatic experiences, they may develop their own trauma lens. And that's a really important thing. So I say that because sometimes we can look back on our lives and be like, well, I didn't really go through all that much, or I didn't really have big traumas in my life, or, I had a loving family. And so we think like, I have no reason to complain. I don't really have any trauma. I don't have whatever. But very often, things that happen when we're little, first of all, we're going to see them through the eyes of our little selves, right? Through the eyes of our 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old self. And with those things come what we think that means, or how we interpret it at that stage of our lives in order for us to process that information. And so I think that right now that would be a really good time for you to kind of like I said, do some inner work, where you kind of embrace that inner child and let that child just speak to you, whether you want to do a little journaling or whether you just want to sort of have like some meditative moment and have a conversation and really be like, how can I support you? What do you need from me so that you feel like I am connecting with you? Because a lot of our disconnect comes from us being disconnected from that inner child, because that inner child dealt with certain things in a certain way, and we have been conditioned to not associate with the way our child selves dealt with things. So we become more and more disconnected and more distant. And so the healing work comes in. And of course, with a trauma-informed therapist is great, or with somebody that can support you through it. The healing comes in when we can sort of hold hands with that child and that child that we are inside and be like, you know what? I got you. Even if this feels the same as before, I got you right now. We're in this together. I am not abandoning you. We are totally, in this, and we got this, and we're going to get through it. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I know I went on for a little bit, but it was just a really present card. And I'm just going to go to the book for a second because I keep being called to go to the book because there's something in here for you. Okay, because it was upside down, I'll just read you the upside down part. Okay, so loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. That is what the meaning of this card is. Are you suffering over your suffering? Do you feel that life is treating you unfairly and that you've been robbed or deprived of what you're entitled to? Do you long for a love that eludes you or the success that has been bestowed upon others? Righteous anger and a sense of entitlement lead to a trap of ego. Your suffering and loss will pass if you let them. If you hold on to your perception of unfairness, then you'll find yourself in its tight grip, unable to breathe freely. The only solution is to drop your victim stance and embrace the sadness so that it may dissipate naturally in time. Trials and tribulations build character, which is its own gift. Find something to be grateful for and take responsibility for your part in all matters. However painful it may be to sit with your sadness, remember that you are loved and will not be left adrift forever. Have faith, for this too shall pass. You are not a victim, only a traveler on a hero's journey. It's okay to be disappointed for now, but know that someday you'll look back and see great value in this experience. I like that message. The most important part of that message that I think applies specifically to you is the idea of being with and sitting with your feelings. In this case, it's with your sadness, but could be with your grief, really connecting with and allowing yourself to feel those things, because also growing up, and that's why the inner child work is so important. We're not usually allowed to feel big emotions, right? If you're crying, it's like, stop your crying. If you're screaming, it's like, be quiet. If you're angry, it's like, well, I'll give you something to be angry about or whatever. I guess that applies to the crying one too, right? So as children, we were, and in some cases, kids still are, we were always encouraged to stop the big emotions that may be intrusive or that may make other people feel uncomfortable. And so many of us did not learn how to be with those feelings and process those feelings. That is the biggest message for this, is for you to be with your feelings. Allow yourself to process the sadness, the grief, whatever it is. I mean, if you can get a good cry in, awesome. Sometimes I honestly say this, and I use this for myself. If you aren't someone who releases tears very easily or can't just like cry and cathartically express yourself, it might be good. You can pick a movie or you can pick a song, one that you know is going to trigger you to allow you to release those emotions that might be trapped inside, because it's all about letting the emotions flow freely through your body and not being bound by them, right? That's why we process the emotions, because we're like, yes, I feel sadness, I feel grief, and that's okay. As opposed to, I feel sadness, I feel grief, I need to do something quick to distract myself because I don't want to feel these feelings. And that's where, we've been trained to distract ourselves or to, numb ourselves so that we don't feel the feelings. But what we really need to do, and in this next part of our evolution and humanity's evolution, is for us to acknowledge that those feelings are valid, regardless of what they might be, in order for you to be able to process them and truly move on to the next step. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I love you. Thank you for coming. All right, who else? I know we're near the end of the usual time, but that one took a while, so I'm willing to pull a card for someone else. Linda, are you still there? I'll pull a card for you, Linda. Karen, how about you? Let me know if you guys want a card. I'm going to pull this for Linda, though, because I have a feeling she's still here. You here? Let me know. I'll pull a card for you. Oh, I love you, too. You're awesome. All right. All right. Here we go. Linda, this is for you. I knew you were here. All right. Okay, Linda, here's your card. Look at this. Number 47, Sacred Pool. You've had this card before, and I love this card for you, and it was upside down. Karen, you're here too. If you want me to pull a card for you, I'm happy to pull a card after Linda's. Okay, so Sacred Pool, and it's upside down, which means I believe that what it means when it's upside down in this case is that you are blocking yourself from receiving from the sacred pool. The sacred pool, of course, is, that collective unconsciousness. It is source energy. It is the flow. It is the high vibration. It is where, it's where the vortex is, right? It's where all of our dreams and wishes and, things that we work for, it's where they kind of sit, right? It sits in the sacred pool. It's all there for us to access anytime we want, except we have trouble believing that the sacred pool exists, that we are deserving or worthy of all of the abundance in the sacred pool. We think we need a secret password. We think we need a secret handshake. We think we need to be anointed or blessed by some figure that says, yes, you are worthy to receive, the blessings and gifts on the planet. You know what? You being here, just you being here, is proof that you are worthy of being on this planet, that you are proof. It is proof that you are a channel of love and light, because flowing through each and every one of us is the light of God. It is. It just is. I don't know what to tell you, right? So if you're like beating yourself up and you're thinking like, no, that's not me, or that doesn't resonate, that doesn't connect with me, that's okay. That's okay that you don't see it or you don't feel it. But it is the truth that you are made up of the love and light of the Creator, right? All of source energy flows through each and every one of us, and we are a vessel of that light and love. And we have access to everything that source has given to us, right? Everything that spirit has put on this planet, there are so many resources that we can access. Some we know, some we don't. There are things that we can't even imagine the resources available to us. But because we stay small and close-minded and don't see our amazingness and our magnificence, we're like, nope, that's not for me. It's a door that's there, but I don't have the key to open it. But you are wrong. That door is not locked. That door is open for anybody who takes a chance and just opens it up and says, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive the blessings. I'm ready to receive the inspiration. I'm ready to impact the rest of the world, because that's what it comes to, right? When we are shining our light and being connected to our true selves, we are shining the light of source and spirit, and we are able to access anything that will support the shining of that light. We are able to connect with anything that is going to help us impact the future, impact our lives, which in turn will impact the lives of those who we touch. And so I really want you to remember that the sacred pool is absolutely always there for you, and you can reach into it anytime. And also, if you don't want to dive into the pool, and if you want to cocoon and kind of figure things out on your own, that is okay too. It is there for us to take a dip whenever we want. Oh, and by the way, look at the age. I mean, the number is 47, but that number, it is, it definitely resonates, right? 47, isn't that crazy? I just noticed it. Yeah. So this is the year. I'm going to say this is the year you're connecting with your sacred pool, connecting with your sacred magic. All you need to do is tap in. It is there for you. And not just you, Linda, for anyone who's watching. It is there for you. It is there for us to access. And believing it is the first step to being able to see it and to see that connection. Good morning, Betty. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. I owe you a return message. Your message yesterday touched me so deeply. I really, truly love you. I loved the message, and I will write back to you. Thank you. Linda, thank you. Amazing. I'm glad you thought that was amazing. Karen, are you still here? I'll pull a card for you. Betty, do you want a card too? I mean, I know I'm going a little over, but that's okay if you guys are up for it. I can pull for Karen and Betty if you guys want. I'm happy to pull a card for you. Karen, I'll pull for you now. Okay, here we go. It's getting hot in here, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon because channeling makes me hot. Well, channeling messages, I guess. All right. So, Karen, here we go. What's the message that your spirit guides have for you? Oh, I love this card. Okay. Number 19, Dragon's Lair. Look at this. You see that dragon up at the top? Oops, right there. Okay. Number 19. I don't know if that number 19 is significant for you. I feel like that one is. I don't know what was happening in your life when you were 19 or if the number 19 itself. Here we go. So what happens with the Dragon's Lair? The Dragon's Lair, often it represents a challenge for us and something that you are already facing or that you know you will be facing, right? And, I know you're not a student, but I don't know. You may be a student of something, but if we were to talk about a student, it might be like, a final exam coming up, or there might be something big happening in your life right now that you anticipate is coming down the line. And the Dragon's Lair is like a representation of that. It's something that feels really scary. It's something that feels daunting. It may be something that you don't want to face or deal with. But here's the beautiful thing about the Dragon's Lair is that the Dragon's Lair is you facing, one of your fears. I won't say your biggest fear, but I always find that the dragon shows up. The Dragon's Lair is kind of like, is that analogy for, what I usually say in video games, right? The dragon is like the end thing that you defeat. Of course, I came from the, years of Pitfall as video games. So I know video games are not like that anymore. But my example always has been, you go to the end of the game and then you have this big dragon to defeat before you can save, well, typically the princess, but, save whatever you want in the video game, right? And so that Dragon's Lair is where your fears exist, right? And it is terrifying. It can be terrifying to look at this, castle that has this beast that you don't want to face because it's like really, really scary. But here's the thing. You have the power to transmute that fear and to face that fear. And by simply showing up at the lair and showing up and saying, I'm ready to defeat you, I'm ready to face you, that courage and that commitment is enough to support you through this challenge and whatever that challenge might be. And of course, like anything else, if you're going into battle, you got to take the equipment, right? You have to take the support that you need, whether that support be, physical reinforcements, whether you call friends or people who are, on your side, who are there to support you or protect you, whether it be friends or family. Even if it's just one person, you bring your support system with you. And then, of course, be prepared. Make sure that you know exactly what you're dealing with. If you're going into the Dragon's Lair, of course, you want to know, what is in the dragon's lair? Where are the exits? How can you potentially defeat it? You want to do some research. So whatever it is that the challenge that you're facing, know that information is your friend, right? And know what you're dealing with so that then you can make really good choices when you are faced with the beast, so to speak, right? This is all an analogy, but whatever that scary thing is in your life, whatever it is that you're facing in your life, you can face it if you're prepared and know that everything is happening for your highest and greatest good. If you don't defeat the dragon, you don't get like the prize, right? You don't get what's next. You don't get to feel accomplished, right? Because you're always like, but I still have that dragon to defeat. There is always still something that's holding you back. But once you defeat that dragon, once you face your biggest fears, well, then guess what? You're scot-free, right? You're able to roam through the earth knowing that nothing will ever derail you from your purpose because you've already faced your biggest fear. So nothing else is going to faze you. And that's the most important thing for you to remember. And for anybody who's listening to remember, if you are going through a huge life challenge right now, whatever that may be, remember that this life challenge, its purpose is to help you evolve. Its purpose is to help build your strength, to build your commitment, and to build your resilience so that you can move to the next level of your own personal evolution. And once you have faced that biggest fear, whatever that might be in your life, and you are able to face it and defeat it, and maybe even not defeat it, but just get through it, just be able to get through it and come to the other side, you will know without a doubt that nothing will ever get you down, that nothing will ever stop you because you can face whatever it is you need to face. So that's the message that I got for you. So whatever you've got going on in your life, I'm sending you love and light, compassion, strength, and more than anything, the power of knowing that you are divine and you are always divinely guided and protected on your journey. And if you know that and believe that, then you can get through anything. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that, Karen. All right, Betty, you are next. All right. Here we go. I'm going to pull a card for you, and then that will be the last card for the day. All right. Oh, Dad, I don't know if you're still here, but have a nice weekend. I see your message. Nasty cough. I like the little mute button, though, on my mic. That works very nicely for me. All right. Okay, here we go, Betty. What is in store for you? The deck's getting sticky, so I think my card is this one. Oh, I love this for you, Betty. Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, the card is a number 2, right? Here we go. Can you see that? It's so hard to see this card. There we go. Okay, number 2, and the card is the Gentle Gardener. Now, the Gentle Gardener is one of my favorite cards because it is the reminder that we are gardeners, right? And if you know anything about gardening, I don't know if you have a green thumb. I don't. I'm terrible at gardening. My brother is the gardener. He's amazing, so he can give you tips. But we all know how gardening works, right? Like you plant the seed and then, you have to water it and you have to make sure that it's in an environment that will help it to thrive. It needs sun, it needs love, it needs all the things that particular seed needs, right? And that's the thing, like each seed may need different care. Some seeds you have to put it way down into the soil. Other seeds you want to plant them just under the soil. Certain seeds need lots and lots of water and other seeds need very little water. Some, you want to start at home, inside where the environment is safe and protective. Other seeds, you just want to go ahead and plant them straight in your garden and not worry about a thing because they're resilient and they'll just grow anywhere, right? So you have to figure out what is the plant that you are growing, right? What do you want to blossom in your life, right? Now, you don't have to figure that out. I mean, you can figure that out if you want to, but you may have already had that figured out, or it's something that you're figuring out right now. And for this card to come up right now, it is a reminder that you just need to keep going. If you have been creating a life for yourself, one that feels good, one that is in alignment with your highest self. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes we make choices in our life that maybe other people don't understand our choices because they're not choices that they would make. But for us, they're really aligned, and it's something that really works for us. And so that's when you are acting as your own advocate. That is when you are truly connecting with your inner guidance. When you are living your life in a way that that is working for you, first of all. And if it's not working for you, then you need to reconnect and see where your inner guidance is telling you to move or what's the next step you need to take, right? But knowing that you are taking care of yourself is the first step, right? You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your needs, and you need to do things for yourself, for who you are, based on where you are at right now, right? And so I work with all sorts of people, and some of my clients have, are moms with little babies, and other people are, moms with older kids. And I don't just work with moms. I've worked with men and stuff before too, but definitely, I work with a lot of women. But I'm using that as an example because the limitations or the lifestyle that's happening for a mom who has like kids that are 2 and 3 years old is very different from someone who has grown children, right? So in terms of what their needs are, in terms of what their availability is in order to focus on themselves is different. Someone with grown kids has time to do things for themselves because they're not hands-on with their children, regardless of anything else that's happening, right? And when you have little kids, most of your time you are spending with them to make sure that you're keeping them safe and they're not doing anything that's going to, harm them, right? So that being said, whatever circumstances you are experiencing in your life right now, you need to honor those experiences. And through honoring them, make choices that validate and honor whatever it is that you're going through at this time. And when you are always making choices and taking actions that honor where you're at in your life, then that is you advocating for yourself. So earlier, I don't know if you were here earlier, when we had someone where we were talking about doing some inner child work. This is also part of that inner child work, right? Where you are validating, hey, you're going through a rough time, or things are not the way I envisioned right now, but I am moving forward and I am taking care of myself and I'm taking care of my needs and I'm making sure that I'm not just surviving, but thriving. And so many people are surviving right now, myself included. I definitely have there's ebbs and flows in my life where I feel like I'm definitely in survival mode. And then other times I'm like, okay, this is a great day and I'm feeling like I'm thriving. And the most important thing to know about that is to be okay with wherever you're at in the moment. It's okay that you have days where you are not thriving, where you are experiencing whatever challenges you might be experiencing, and allowing yourself to process those challenges, and then making decisions based on, okay, here's what I'm able to do right now, or here's what I'm able to do today, or here's what I'm able to do next week, and taking those steps one step at a time while honoring whatever it is that's going on in your life, or whatever stage of life you're in right now. There's people going through all sorts of stuff, and when things are happy-go-lucky and everything's going well, it's easy to feel productive. It's easy to feel like, oh, well, the universe has got my back. Yeah, I'm awesome, and things are going good and money's flowing, right? It's easy to be high vibe when things are going well, right? The challenge is really, how can you lift your spirits when things are not going as well, when things are a little bit more challenging, or when you're not able to do the things the way you want to because of whatever circumstances are happening in your life. And this is where the gentle gardener comes in, right? To go back to the card, and just as a reminder for you, the gentle gardener reminds you that you just every day show up for your garden, show up for the seeds that you planted, and give them whatever they need, right? If you have a vision for your future, an idea for your life, and you want to see it come to fruition, then you need to, first of all, remind yourself, hey, I have this seed that I planted and I definitely want to keep nurturing it and growing it and taking steps, no matter how small, to make sure that you are still nurturing that idea, those dreams, right? And even if you have absolutely no dreams, even if you have absolutely no goals, and you're just kind of like stuck or stagnant, or like living life and going, I don't know what's next, I don't feel inspired, I'm not motivated to come up with anything for the future, that's okay too. part of that gentle gardening is that process, right? The process of not seeing anything happen and yet trusting that there is the process of growth. And that can happen with us too, even when we're stuck, even when we feel sad and depressed or like just don't have any energy to do anything. I can tell you that there are things going on inside all the time, and we are processing things in our subconscious, and sometimes it can come out in your dreams, and sometimes it can come out, where suddenly you have an idea or, an inspiration. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I just thought of this. Why didn't I think of that before? Go with those feelings, with those thoughts, with those inspirations, and don't beat yourself up if you are not getting them, right? The whole purpose of the gentle gardener is to give your garden what it needs at the time. And if your garden needs more love and care, then you give it more love and care. And when it is ready, when you are ready, it will blossom. You will be able to burst through the earth and be like, hey, I'm here. And however long that takes is also okay. Because what is meant for you will never be kept from you. You may increase the timeline, but it will not be kept from you. You are deserving of all the love and happiness on the planet. Each and every one of you are deserving of all the love and happiness on the planet. But you need to give it to yourself first. And giving it to yourself looks like being kind and compassionate and forgiving no matter what's going on in your life. If you're having a rough day, it's allowing yourself to have a rough day. If you're having a really good, productive day, it's allowing yourself to have that day and then not feel guilty if the next day isn't the same. Okay, so I hope that that's helpful. I really, really, truly am so grateful that all of you came out for the show today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope it was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Jumpstart for Change on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell. And come and find me. Every day I'm here at 10 o'clock from Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. EST on Facebook and YouTube. But don't forget, YouTube you got to subscribe to because I want the subscribers, okay? All right, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I truly love you all. Go and shine, shine, shine.